I think it's been at least a couple of weeks. Well, happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. My gosh. I mean, we are starting the year with a bang. I mean, it is an epic start to this decade. It's a whole new decade. People have left. We walked all RAIN members through how to leave 2019 and how to leave the last decade behind. We finished the year on December 18th with this amazing webinar, Patrick. Yes. You and Stephanie did, which was absolutely awesome. And here we are now. We're getting started into 2020, and we're really starting really quickly we have Money Magic in Vancouver on January 18th. RAIN member meetings are going to be awesome this year. And then Toronto ACRE is sooner than it's ever been before, at least in the last 5-6 years, which is February 7th through 9th, ACRE, Toronto ACRE Real Estate Investor Summit. You excited for that, Patrick?
I'm incredibly excited. And I love the fact that ACRE is a little bit earlier in the year. Really sets people up for success for the balance of the year, given the new decade and the whole concept around, shifting a trajectory for a whole decade. Now, I know there's a bunch of, I want to stop 1 second, just back up a little bit, because I know a number of RAIN members will be watching this. So go in your member back office, and I'm going to encourage you to watch that webinar that Stephanie and myself and you did. We got some unbelievable feedback via emails from members who literally said, it changed, like they had a huge shift from it. Now, and then the other exciting part about it, although you'll be getting a notification about it, RAIN members, Stephanie's coming out and doing a cross-country tour for 2020 at all our member meetings, and we're going to set everybody up for success. Now what we're doing is we're talking about setting up 2020 and beyond, and what that's all going to be. And aside from Jennifer, not aside from, and including Jennifer doing a what's behind the curtain. So enough about the member meetings, but definitely exciting time.
But you're absolutely right, Patrick, because if you missed it, RAIN members, if you missed the live webinar on December 18th, it's not too late. The information is as relevant on January 4th, 2020 than it was on December 18th, 2019. So this is huge. Now, Patrick, today we're doing a Missing Millions segment. But by the way, I'm enjoying these kind of Saturday morning coffee Missing Millions segments. It's kind of turning out to be like that, which I like. What's that, sorry?
I spilled my coffee this morning. I was quite annoyed, but I got it refilled.
Great. So what we want to start and leave people with today is really that ACRE, the Real Estate Investor Summit, is excellent and perfect for brand new investors that are just looking to get into real estate. And by the way, if you're just getting into real estate and you think, the room's going to be full of people who have a lot of experience and I'm just new and maybe I should buy 1 or 2 or 3 properties before, Patrick, what would you say to that?
Well, what is to say about that? ACRE's been, as many years as we've had it, this is, I'm over 50 in what I've either attended or spoke at over the past almost 20 years now. And the reality of it is that ACRE is set up and structured in such a way that whether you're just starting out or you've already got an existing portfolio, ACRE's a great place. It's a great environment to put yourself into for a weekend. If you're a current investor, get regrounded, gain some additional insights, because this is really current information, because we've totally changed ACRE and how we deliver it and what we're doing with it. So whether you're just getting started or you've actually got an existing portfolio, many RAIN members have attended several ACRE events because they keep learning. But yeah, so there isn't really a protocol that says, well, if you're just starting, you should be there, or if you've got lots of properties, you should be there. If you're interested in investing in real estate and doing it successfully, you should be there.
And we can't tell you how many people, folks, that have joined RAIN after purchasing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 properties. And the feedback is always the same, Patrick, which is, I wish I knew what you taught us at ACRE Real Estate Investor Summit before I bought my first property. I would have avoided hundreds of thousands of dollars in mistakes. So don't play, folks. If you're brand new to investing, ACRE is the right spot for you. Now, Patrick, on the other side of that, there's also another danger where people could miss millions, in the sense that they think, you know what, I've been to ACRE once, twice, 3 times. Should I really go? I went in 2014, I went in 2015, I went in 2017. Should I go again in 2020? Now, what do you think about that, Patrick?
You know, I see time and time again, and Don Campbell used to call it the professor syndrome. Real estate investors that figure, I got this, I got it all figured out. But guess what? When you put yourself into an environment where you're surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who are actually in the trenches like you, investing in real estate, there's so many little nuggets that are picked up and gained. And because real estate is the game that it is, where numbers can get big really fast, the cost of mistakes is really expensive, but the cost of doing it right is big wins. There's lots of upside in the world of real estate. So don't fall into the professor syndrome. We talk about that over the years, where you think you've got it figured out. That's where things will sneak up on you and bite you. And it's usually an expensive lesson.
Well, and I think, Patrick, the professor syndrome, that should be our segment title for this Missing Millions, because I can't tell you how many times that I've seen members, I've seen clients, and I've worked really, really hard myself to make sure that I never think I got it. The minute I think I got it, I know I don't got it.
100%. It's so true. You know, and you know, of course, we're a national organization. We literally speak to thousands of real estate investors, you know, and I personally spoke to, I'm going to say hundreds, like one-on-one over almost 20 years, but thousands, and has spoke and had conversations, you know, anecdotal, on the fly, in the spot. And the stories we hear at ACRE, you know, I recently talked to a member again who actually became part of or signed up for the Elite 52 coaching program. But I remember him sharing that when he came to REIN and attended an ACRE event, he already had, I want to say, 13 properties. It was quite significant of a portfolio. And it was an absolute, if I'm going to use the technical phrase, shit show. And he came to ACRE and went, oh my gosh, I jumped in. I didn't know what I needed to know. I've made these mistakes. I've got a mess to clean up. And he then just pragmatically, he came to ACRE. He did become a REIN member over the years, but now, I mean, he's hitting it out of the park. Several years later, it took him a long time to clean that up and then to rebuild, but he did it. And it all started at an ACRE event in having conversations with others. And at that time, Don Campbell, myself, and it really shifted the trajectory for him. And that's what ACRE can do.
Yeah. In fact, ACRE, you know, ACRE is really a problem-solving event. I mean, a lot of people come to ACRE with a truck full and bags full of problems that they're looking to solve. And that's great, because at ACRE, you're going to have all of the resources, all the contacts, all the information, all the how-to strategies. You're going to have the community, the culture, the environment to then solve those problems. When you bring those problems to ACRE, folks, and you come in with with all these challenges and problems. And by the way, don't think you're unique. Don't think you're the only one having problems. Shit, that's the name of the game, solving problems. If you're solving problems, you're making money. If you're not solving problems, you're not making money. That's pretty simple. So you come to ACRE with all these problems, these real estate investor problems and challenges. You will leave ACRE with a whole fresh perspective and a whole lot less confusion. See, Patrick, you and I were talking about this a while ago. Confusion is really the enemy. You know, when you get confused as to what to do, when you get confused as to what next steps to take, when you can't really analyze and look at the challenges properly, you get confused. That's where you get stuck and you get paralyzed. And that's where you end up missing millions. That's where you make the costly mistakes. And ACRE is really the one opportunity you have a year to let it all go, wipe the canvas completely clean, and come up with a whole game plan to make sure that not only this, like in 2020, it's a big one, because it's not only about this year, it's about this decade.
You know, that's such a great point, JG, that you're making here. And the confusion, let's face it, it's so easy to be confused. There's so much information out there, especially, you know, over the past 3 to 5 years, particularly the past 3 to 5 years with social media. There's so many gurus out there. There's the headlines that the media are trying to sell papers. It's bad news. It's good news. It's, you know, it's all of the things that are happening. We've got a really messed up political climate. For the most part, we feel that way in North America, not specifically necessarily in Canada, although I would argue that it feels that way to me some days. But with the overall global political climate, it's a very kind of confusing time, many mixed messages. You know, here's what we know, and REIN has the track record and we can hang our hat on this. 27 years, we've done, thousands of investors across Canada. We've supported them, 5.3 billion in assets that they've built, 37,000 transactions. I mean, we've got the history to do it and to take the confusion out of it. We know the game. Now, how-tos and strategies, that stuff, we do that because we've been doing it for so many years. The research that we provide in the economic climate, world class. We know all that. But our secret sauce, and real estate investors, I believe, need to really get this. You need to put yourself in an environment for success. You need to be part of a culture that is like-minded and a community that is supportive of each other, where you're seeing people every month show up. You go to this ACRE event, there's going to be RAIN members that have been there 10 times. They've been RAIN members for 10 years, 15 years. They continue to do this because they know the professor syndrome is bad news. They know that when you're being chipped away with all these mixed messages out there, it's easy to get confused, and they come to ACRE, they get clear, and they get set up for success.
100%, Patrick, 100%. So really, this Missing Millions segment is about not having that professor syndrome, making sure you don't make that mistake, and really investing in yourself. Patrick, you always say it, we always say it, you are your biggest asset. And coming to ACRE costs next to nothing. I mean, the cost is unbelievably affordable. It's crazy. But the time it takes, you've got to spend 2.5 days of your time. You have to be focused. You have to be present. You will be challenged. You will be motivated. You'll be pushed out of your comfort zone. And it's going to be a really epic 2020 if you make that decision, if you make that commitment. And if you don't, folks, what's on the line is your retirement. What's on the line is your financial freedom. What's on the line is your family and your generation. So not a big deal, go ahead and take a chance on it. What the hell, roll the dice.
Roll the dice. I think you make the other point I think what's really important for us to make. If you're watching this and you've been to an ACRE event, believe us, ACRE is not what you've experienced before. Unless you were in Edmonton or Vancouver in late 2019, the back half of 2019, you don't know what the new ACRE is all about. And even that, we've tweaked it and changed it based on the feedback that we got. And listen, ACRE is going to be an epic event. It's really changed up. We're excited about it. We know we're going to make a difference. Yeah,
the feedback on ACRE in Vancouver, which is the latest iteration of ACRE, has been off the charts. So, we encourage you to share this video, comment, help us get the word out. This is really important. We're helping Canadians deliver financial freedom for their families by design. This is important. So get the word out. We'll see you all at ACRE 2020 in Toronto, February 7th through 9th. Tickets are actually going really fast, Patrick. We are, in terms of registration rate, we're way ahead of the game. And it's going to be an exciting 2020.
Thanks, JG. Thanks for putting this together. I'm excited about it, and it's going to be a great event.
It's going to be awesome. Thanks, Patrick.